What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Bourbon of the Week. My name's Chris. I'm going to be your host for today, and a little while ago I posted this video on TikTok which seemed to do very well, talking about 7 bourbons that you should start your collection with, only costing you $225. Now, after I posted this video, so many people either commented, stitched, made their own videos saying these are the 7 bourbons that I would choose, which was all fine, but one, some of them were over the $225 price point, and two, a lot of those bourbons aren't readily available in every market. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to go to finewineandgoodspirits.com. If you want to follow along, check out the link in the description below. It'll take you right to the website. We're going to sort by bourbon, we're going to sort by price point, and we're going to pick out our favorite bourbon, maybe favorite 2 in each category. Let's get to it. So here we have it, finewineandgoodspirits.com. I do want to show you one thing before we get started. Right here is our whiskey release page. This is we offer highly sought after whiskeys as they become available. Don't miss out. That's right, we need an entire release page where they randomly drop highly sought after whiskeys. Let's just take a look and see what we have today. Oh, look at that. Michter's Sour Mash Whiskey at $50 is an online exclusive whiskey release. You can go on. There's only 68 of these available. So if you have an opportunity, make sure you grab this highly sought after whiskey of Michter's Sour Mash. If you can't get your hands on it, here in Pennsylvania is the place to find it. So that just goes to show you what we consider highly sought after here in Pennsylvania. But let's get into what we were here to do. Let's go to whiskey, let's go to bourbon, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of these price points, and I'm going to give you my top bourbons in each one. The only stipulation I'm going to put on this is it does have to be 750 milliliters. I don't want to deal with airplane bottles. Let's just see what we have to offer for the less than $10 price point. So there you have it, Jesse James American Outlaw, Old Crow, and Hillbilly Bourbon. I've never even heard of Hillbilly. These are all on clearance right now, as you can see. Normally $18. This is still under $10 at $9.99. Everybody knows about Old Crow. And then this is normally $20. Again, these are just on clearance right now. Jesse James at $17.99 is still a pretty good price point, but let's just add in the next $10 to $15 price point. And what does that give us? That gives us Evan Williams Black Label, that gives us Ezra Brooks Straight Bourbon 90 proof, and that gives us Bird Dog Bourbon, but again, on sale and on clearance. Usually $16, usually $30. So if we're talking about actual bourbons in the $10 to $15 price range, you can't even include Evan Williams Black Label. Ezra Brooks is going to be the only one that we have available here. So for less than $15, you got to go with Ezra Brooks. Let's clear those two out and let's get into the nitty gritty of things, the $15 to $20 price point. Here again, we're on clearance, but we're under $20. Jim Beam Straight Bourbon Whiskey White Label. We also have the PET 80 proof. Jim Beam Red Stag Black Cherry Whiskey 65 proof. This isn't even a bourbon. I don't know how this makes it on our list. It's absolutely crazy that some of these are on here, but the one that I will say, and the one that I picked myself for the #1 whiskey between the $15 to $20 price point, right here, Evan Williams Straight Bourbon Bottled and Bond 100 proof. Normally $18.69, but today on sale for $16.69. Absolutely something you have to pick up. Another one on here, Old Grandad 80 proof. I liked the Old Grandad 100 proof. We'll probably get to that eventually. Old Grandad 80 proof is another great one, and Jim Beam Old Tub for 20 bucks is not a bad pickup either. If I had to go top 3, those would be the 3 that I pick. If I had to choose one, I would say Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Now let's get out of that $15 to $20 price tag and move into our $20 to $30 price tag and see what we have to offer here. Right away, you can already see we have a lot better stuff. We have Wild Turkey 101, which is absolutely something that I would recommend. Jim Beam Black, I'm sure we have a bunch of Jim Beam stuff on here. We do. We have the Black, we have the Devil's Cut, we have the Double Oaked, all of these being the same price point. My personal preference is the Double Oaked. Again, the extra age isn't bad. I didn't really like the Devil's Cut at all. So if I had to choose between these 3, I would definitely go Double Oaked, but we're still picking Wild Turkey 101 over all of that. Up next, we have Larceny. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Larceny small batch. I do like the barrel proof stuff, but at $29.09, I'm leaving that on the shelf. Then we start to move into stuff like Old Forester. The 86 proof just isn't for me. Cooper's Craft is one that I did not use, but I gotta say, it's newer here in Pennsylvania. The 82 proof is not damn near as good as the 100 proof. If the 100 proof pops up on this list, I will say if the price is right, we will add that to our 7-bottle collection. But for right now, I'm still going with Wild Turkey 101. We have Four Roses. We have the small batch that I like better, and again, that's probably going to come up later as we get into these higher priced stuff. But Old Grandad Bonded, this is another one that I think can compete with Wild Turkey 101, and this is just a preference thing, whether you like the Wild Turkey 101 from Wild Turkey or Old Grandad from Jim Beam. You can't really go wrong with either of those at this price point. I had them both in my 7-bottle collection. So we scroll down a little bit more, right, and we get to the bottom of our list, and we do have Old Forester Straight Bourbon, but this is coming soon. This is the 100 proof version, a little bit better than the 86 proof version. So I can say if you wanted to argue Old Forester 100 proof, sure, you can put that in there, but I still don't think it beats Old Grandad Bonded or Wild Turkey 101. That's this price point. Let's get into the next one now. So here we go now, right? We're moving into some of those higher priced bourbons, but at the end of the day, we only had $225 to work with. I would say Woodford Reserve is a pretty good price at $40.59. I do enjoy it. I do think it's a little bit overpriced, but a lot of people enjoy how easy it is to drink. So definitely something you could add to your list. Bullet I did have on my list. Again, we're talking $7 cheaper and more versatile when it comes to the whiskey. I think you can drink this neat on the rocks, put this in a cocktail, you can't go wrong. We already talked about Maker's Mark Straight Bourbon, the 90 proof. This is something at $32.19, not a bad pick, but let's scroll down just a little bit. For a couple more bucks here, we can get the 46 Straight Bourbon. I think it's a little bit better than just your Maker's Mark Straight Bourbon, but that's just me, because I bet you right here down here, $41.59 or even $38.59. Russell's Reserve 10-year, and then we already saw it, I already talked about it, the Four Roses Small Batch at $36.39 are two bottles that I would absolutely smash at those prices. So those were the two that I had in this price range when I put my 7-bottle list together. Now, Wild Turkey was an interesting one that people talked about. I could replace the Four Roses Small Batch with the Long Branch, especially for somebody who's newer to bourbon. I loved the Long Branch when I first got into it, but Russell's Reserve 10-year has to be in there, and we already had Wild Turkey 101, so we can't do all Wild Turkey products because we still have Wild Turkey Rare Breed, but $50 is definitely pushing the envelope when we're trying to keep it under $225 and still add a variety and a bunch of different bottles to your collection. Now we can scroll down a little bit more. Again, Four Roses Straight Single Barrel. This is just their typical single barrel stuff. This isn't one of their different mash bills or anything like that. We do have Nelson's Brothers, which is interesting. I didn't think that was too bad. We have an Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. This isn't always readily available, but again, look at these prices that we're talking about at this point. We're getting up into that $50 price range. The 1870 is pretty good. Again, if you're going to throw an Old Forester in there at 40 bucks, I would probably say the 1870. We do have a couple of different screens here. Let's see if there's anything else of note. Legion is a very good bottle, but at 50 bucks, I just couldn't add it to the collection. And again, look at all these prices at this point. Bowman Brothers was another bottle that I had on there. $34.99, not a bad price for that at all. I would absolutely keep that on my list. I love that bottle myself. Bowman Brothers deserves to be on there. Let's see if there's anything else that we want to talk about. And you guys let me know in the comment section below if you saw anything that you would have on here that I haven't even mentioned, but these are just the bottles that I'm thinking about as we go. That's all we've got from the $30 to $50 price range. And again, let's just for, you know, fun and games, let's move into the $50 to $100 price range. $50 to $100, we're talking Angel's Envy here at $54.09. Not the biggest Angel's Envy fan, but if you are, I can understand why you would want that on your list. Just remember, you're already taking $50, we'll say $7, $8 out of your $225 budget on one bottle. Same thing goes for Woodford Double Oaked. A lot of people were like, I would get rid of Bullet and add Woodford Double Oaked. That's fine, but you would have to get rid of Bullet and another bottle because you can't make up the price point at $62.39. We already talked about Michter's before. That's a limited release bottle. We have Knob Creek 9-year. This is a single barrel version, 67 bucks. Widow Jane, I love that bottle, but 80 bucks. I mean, it just gets tough when you want to add multiple bottles to your collection and you're talking these kinds of prices. Baker's 7 is another bottle that I absolutely love, but it's $64.99 to the newer bourbon person. I can't recommend it right away. Penelope 4-grain, another great bottle. Horse Soldier, something that I do want to try. I haven't tried it yet, but just look at these prices and what we're talking about. For a $225 budget, you just can't do it. And let's just see what's under this at the last one of $100+. Knob Creek 18-year, $169. Definitely can't add that to a quote-unquote collection. And guys, relax, okay? I know you see what's going on here, right? William LaRue Weller, George T. Stagg, online exclusive. Chris, buy them right now. They're not there. This is a lottery. We do have lotteries here. You can learn all about them under the event page. Limited release lottery. It's closed right now, but here's what we have for the limited release lottery. I lose every year, so don't get too excited about that. So listen, that's what we have, and I had a $225 budget. So let me know in the comment section below the 7 bottles that you would pick. Try to keep it under that $225 price point. Maybe it's only 6 bottles. Maybe you can get 8 bottles out of it. But let me know in the comment section below using these bottles that you've seen on today's list. Other than that, you can definitely add stuff from your market. Let me know if you have it and we don't. But hey, if you've made it this far in the video, make sure you click that like and that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Go check me out on Instagram and click that follow button over there. We have a Discord link in the description below and a Patreon page that you can help support the channel with. We do have a bottle pick coming up. I am going to release more information on that shortly, but stick around for that. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly and stay healthy, stay happy, stay drinking. Cheers, y'all.